Let me have your attention. We'll call the meeting to order. Ask Commissioner Underwood to lead us in invocation and Jeb to lead us in the pledge. So please stand. Thank you.
If you please bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for all the blessings you bestow upon us. And dear Lord, we just ask that you be with us during this meeting as we conduct the business of the Baldwin County Road and Bridge. Just give us the strength, courage, and wisdom to do the best that we can for the people of Baldwin County. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all. All right, we got a couple of procedural things that we need to take care of. We've got adoption of the April 21st Road and Bridge meeting minutes.
Make a motion.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented for April 21st, 2022. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, like sign. All right, they are approved. Okay, under old business, item 2. Well, today.
You want me to take it from here?
Yes, as you can imagine, the last thing I need to do is get into the engineering details. I can tell you how to pay for it, how to bid it out, and what it'll cost, but beyond that, I don't mess with snakes, electricity, or the federal government. So I'm going to turn this over to Joey.
All right, thank you, sir. So under old business, I just kind of wanted to give you an update on the Restore Act projects. Currently, we have 2 that have been approved by the Restore Council. One of those being the Lillian Park restoration and protection improvement projects, and the other one being the longevity, stability, and water quality improvements for the Bond Secure site down there for the dredge site. The Bond Secure one has been bid out. The commission's already awarded it. We've given the notice to proceed to the contractor. He's ordered materials, so that one's ongoing. It's moving forward. The Lillian one is under design, so we've gotten approval to move forward with design, and consultants are working forward with that, and that is in conjunction with the FEMA repairs that are also underway. Well, they're not underway. I think that project's actually being advertised right now. So we got 2 things going on there in Lillian. One of them is Restore, one of them is FEMA. But that's what's going on the 2 active projects. The round 2 projects, those have not come in front of the Restore Council, but we have submitted those all into the portal, and you can see we've prioritized them. All the bucket 1 and bucket 3 projects have not been voted on yet. The one highlighted in green down there, bucket 2, that one actually got awarded. So Commissioner Blankenship and the governor were nice enough to go ahead and award that one for us in an amount of $2.5 million. So we are actually waiting on them to send us the agreement to process that grant agreement to restore Red Gully. And then as soon as we get that, we'll get that in front of y'all for y'all to execute. So is there any questions on the restore projects?
Joey, so basically we've only gotten 3 projects so far out of the restore, and we haven't even got really, the only one that we've actually really got anything started with is the Bond Secure dredge site, basically.
Well,
boots on the ground, that deal.
Boots on the ground, yes, sir.
That's sickening.
It's a process. It has taken a long time.
It has taken more time than what it should have, and that's annoying. You know, this happened in 2010. For us to only have one little project, and it just burns me up. You know that we can't. You know that it's not our fault. It's the bureaucracy that we're having to deal with that makes it so we can't get any projects done. You know, we keep saying, well, yeah, they keep telling us, yeah, but nothing happens. And I'm just wondering how many other, you know, like Mobile County, how many they've got active projects. You know, and also, you know, like you got, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach and Fairhope and all them. They have had active projects going on, and why are we being singled out? And it feels like we're being singled out. You know.
Hey, Joe, you might want to also we can update them on meetings we've been having with the project that we didn't get, where that pool of money now that was granted to us is now up for grabs from everybody again.
That 11,
And so we're trying to petition these mayors to, I mean, you kind of got to beg to let us keep that money for another project another day, but we don't know how that's even going.
That's right. So just to kind of bring everybody up to speed on that is, we put in a $11.3 million project for the Baldwin Beach Express to basically start acquiring the right of way for that section of road between I-10 and I-65. The local council approved it. When it got up to Treasury and Washington D.C., it got denied. It got turned down. So that $11.3 million is now going back into the pot for everybody to be able to grab. So to Commissioner Ball's point, we've been having some side conversations with the other members of the council to kind of stay away from that $11.3 million, because originally that was our money. That was Baldwin County's money. We want to take that $11.3 million and do other things with it. That process is coming up this year. That money goes back into the pot. That'll be back into what you see here is round 2 projects. So all these projects that we've prioritized here in round 2, some of that $11.3 million can help fund some of those projects to come back to Baldwin County. But
if we can get it all back.
That's right.
Because there's other mayors that want some of it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it will be politics at its best. So,
Joey, let me ask a question. When we get denied these projects, are we given reasons that to you make sense that it's either not a worthy project, or it costs too much, or it's got environmentally constraints, or is it just, I just feel like we're being penalized for being good stewards of our existing money. And the expectation is that, well, you've got plenty, you'll figure out another way to do it. And that bothers me, as Skip mentioned. It's just not, if we lose out to somebody, I want to feel like we lost out to somebody who had a better idea with a better plan. And I don't think that's the case.
yeah, so to answer your question, when the Restore Council didn't have a problem with this, they passed it, went up to D.C., to Treasury. The first replies we got back did not make sense to me, and I pushed back hard on that. And to just tell you what they said, unless you can show us how you're going to fund the rest of the project, we don't want to fund this phase of the project. And I pushed back hard on that, and I basically showed them that not only is this a top priority for the council. I mean, we've invested money in the Foley Beach Express. We've invested money in phase 1 of the Baldwin Beach Express. We invested money in phase 2 of the Baldwin Beach Express. It got it all the way up to I-10. We've invested money in this phase of or what we call BBE2, which goes from 10 to 65. I said, we're serious about this. We've done this in phases. This is just another phase. Yeah. And got them off of that lame excuse, and they sent it to their legal counsel. The legal counsel then came back to me and said, at this time we were going down the toll route, okay? And they said, if you're going to toll this road, you can't spend federal funds on and acquire right-of-way on something that you're going to make money off of. So,
and see, their definition of making money and making ends meet is the part that bothers me. I mean, we're not doing a toll to make money. We're doing a toll because we can't get the resources from the federal government to do these things.
And to maintain, not
And
to
to
make money,
maintain,
it's just to
that's right.
maintain. So, so when they started going down that path, it was clear to me that they were not going to approve this project. So
I think we should send Commissioner Davis to Joe Biden's office.
I'll second that
Hey,
motion.
I'm a lame duck, I'm willing. Hey,
Let me go down there and talk to the president for her.
hey, somebody needs to, on several topics. And I just interjected my own personal opinion there, but
Yeah,
I was afraid of that, but I felt we needed to air it and talk about that because we are more than tourists and retirees down on the beach. And we've proven that for generations. But some people in Montgomery and a lot of people in Washington just see us as not essential, and I think we are.
yes.
Joey, can you refresh my memory on, like, whereas we as the council on these bucket 2 projects here, bucket 1, the next round of all these that are pending selections, didn't we select some ones that we thought that were top priorities or?
So,
Did we
so
submit a
we
priority
as a commission, y'all as a commission submitted those into the Restore portal.
Right.
And prioritized those projects, which are listed here. Those projects have not been voted on by the
Okay.
Restore Council.
Okay.
So that's really the next step that's gonna happen. And, that's probably gonna happen this year. Amy's been working, getting that to that process. We'll probably find out a timeline on this next meeting that's coming up.
Good.
Okay, any more questions on Restore? Okay, we'll go to item 3A. So what I want to do here is I really want to go through what we're just proposing as for our upcoming budget. We're going into budget year. We've been working hard, staff's been working hard on trying to figure out how to battle COVID prices and how to prioritize the upcoming projects that we want to do, how to plus up the budgets that kind of got busted due to this whole price increase that we've been seeing. So so we'll go through those slides. And again, if y'all have got any questions, feel free to interject. But there's quite a few pictures and slides that kind of explain things. Okay, so we break down our resurfacing projects. Our projects by type. As you can see, there's 9 different ones here, all the way from resurfacing, new road construction, drainage, safety improvements, special projects, bridge, capacity improvement, park improvements, and then we have this other category. So the budgets you see there, we'll go through in a lot more detail in the slides. First of all, the resurfacing projects. We are totaling $5.75 million. 2.9 of that comes from Fund 111. 2.85 comes from the Rebuild Alabama tax that passed a few years ago. We are now maxing that out at the 10 cents. I threw this slide in here just to kind of show you kind of what I was talked about in the very beginning, which was we prefaced that I prefaced this with. We're seeing a crazy amount of price increases due to fuel cost and supply chain issues, and so if you can see here, we compared what our resurfacing cost was from 2015 all the way to 2018 to 2022, and you can see this dramatic jump that we had in 2022. So we started at about 90 grand a year, 90 grand a mile, and now we're at $137,000 a mile to resurface projects. So this graph speaks volumes on what we've been dealing with from a budgetary standpoint.
Joey, is on those, that's the cost for having contractors laying it, correct? That's contractor cost?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, we bid this in a couple different ways, and we choose the best option, which is for the county, which is best financially for the county, which
Yeah,
is,
but I'm saying that number is based on that one
It
point,
is.
well, $138,000 a mile is based on basically laid down by a contractor.
That is correct.
With that including the asphalt.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's us doing the shoulder work.
Yeah.
And Joey, this is not a change in the way we're doing it. This is just showing us how the economic impact has changed relative to.
It's just showing us
distribution
inflation.
change, the cost of inflation. That's exactly right.
That's exactly right. Inflation and everything else, the fuel prices, the fuel prices is got a big part of that price increase, because obviously they got to haul the asphalt to the site. A lot of the asphalt plants run off of fuel to heat everything up and dry everything. Obviously, the asphalt content itself is made from a byproduct of gasoline production. So that's a big part of that. But yeah, we've been doing the same thing all these different years, and then you see this kind of jump. So. Okay, so the next category, new road construction.
Hey, Joe, I was gonna, for us, that's a good thing to be able to tell, because I'm just gonna round that up to $140,000 when I tell the people about how things are slow moving. When it comes to, when we get the calls, why am my road not paved yet? Well, when you throw out that number right there, people can't even visualize $140,000 per mile to pave.
That's right, which translates into, we're not able to do the number of miles that
That's
we've
right.
normally been doing.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point.
And then they can go and talk to the president too.
That's right. We can ride together.
So on this slide, you start seeing these big yellow pluses that on the left-hand side. What that means is that's projects that we had previously funded that got the budgets got busted because of this whole issue that we've been talking about. So when you see the plus, that means that we're just asking for more money to kind of to flush the project out financially. So the first one that we're talking about doing is going to be the realignment of River Road, which that one is that dirt road down there by Styx River that's been washing out. Currently, we've got the bridge being designed, and we're negotiating right-of-way cost, but this budget number here would have flushed that project out. Second one is going to be extend Pleasant Road. That one has been very challenging from a drainage standpoint because it's so flat. So this money is going to be needed for a right-of-way. Going to be quite a bit of right-of-way acquisition on that one due to the flatness of the nature of the topography and the drainage situations. Extend Lawrence Road from Gayfer Road, extension to 104. That one's one that I've been coordinating with Aldott on. Joe, that was the one me and you and Director Cooper sat in with about, helping improve that intersection due to all the growth and development that's happening there. Extend Cordy Road. That was one that we've been partnering with City of Daphne on. Extend County Road 20. We hopefully to partner with City of Foley on that one. And extend County Road 65 from 28 to 32. That's the section of 65 that doesn't exist now. And so that money is going to help us buy the right-of-way. And extend County Road 20 west of 65. That one's an important project I want to kind of talk to you about, and the slides will kind of show a little bit better picture of that, but I'll kind of bring you up to speed on that one. So this one's the River Road project. You can see we're just moving that road out of the floodway, getting it out of the flood zone, so that road doesn't blow out every time the river comes up. That's just a little close-up view of it. That was the one that the guys did a real good job getting that road opened up really quick when they laid the large pipe.
And what I like about that one too, Joey, is nothing's gonna be interrupted when we're building that one.
That's right.
We don't have to shut down roads forever. That's a total new construction, so
That's right. And currently, the way we've got this one planned to do is that obviously a contractor is going to come in and build the bridge here, and then we're going to actually, the county crews are scheduled to actually do the roadway work here and here. And then what we'll do is we'll vacate this existing alignment here back to the adjacent property owners, and then so this will be completely out of the floodway.
And that's gonna be an all paved road?
No,
Dirt road?
No, it'll be a dirt road.
Okay.
Put a little rock on it. No, we don't want to pave it. Brings in too many.
So the good thing is we've only got like 1, 2, 3 property owners to deal with here because they're large parcels. So that's really good. This middle parcel is a large company though, so it's been a little slow process dealing with them. So
I'm going to interrupt you real quick on that. You know, because I've had conversations with you and Frank, I believe, that, you know, I've been contacted by some of the people we visited asking us to just go ahead and pave it. And I told them that it doesn't really meet our strategic goal for connectivity and increasing capacity, that this is really an emergency situation. And, you know, we aren't going to rehash the past, but we are here now, and I would appreciate their cooperation in helping us get this right away, whether we have to buy it or whatever. But just please don't make us have to drag it through court and stuff like that, because this is an emergency situation more than anything, in my opinion. Because even though y'all have done an excellent job, and I was going to say this in my comments, but since we're here now, I'll go ahead and say it. Excellent job with putting that big pipe in there and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's not the solution, because of, you know, the water's going to rise, you know, just like that old song, how high is the water, mama? It's going to come. One day it's coming. And so, you know, they've got a little bit of relief right now, but that water's going to rise, and that road will be underwater, and nothing we can do to stop that. So I just want to say that, you know, the paving aspect of that does not meet in my opinion, our strategic goals as far as what kind of roads and stuff that we want to pave to increase the connectivity and the capacity of the county. And we're so huge that we just have to, you know, if that ends up getting developed, let the developer pave it. Okay, thanks.
Hey, Joey, how many miles is that?
how many miles is
How
the
many
length?
miles is that construction that new road?
Frank, do you know? It's probably a little less than a mile, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. And Commissioner Underwood, to your point, talking about the water will come and the rivers will rise. Just look at what's going on in Virginia right now. So, 40 something people missing right now up there. So, okay. Any more questions on this one? This was a picture of the extension of the Pleasant Road. And if we'll just kind of zoom in a little bit, you can see this doesn't look like a very difficult road to do, but when we started digging into the design of it, it is completely flat and the drainage is very difficult. So some of the drainage we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to do a large retention drainage ditch on this side on this side, and then cross under the road here and probably do another one over here. So it's just to kind of handle the water, make sure we don't do any damage to anybody else. It's been very challenging from a drainage standpoint. One of the more challenging ones I've ever dealt with. So.
Have the property owners been very cooperative or better cooperation than we started out with?
No.
That's somebody else I need to go talk to.
But we're going to work through that process. We will. So this one's going to be the extension of Lawrence Road. I kind of zoomed out a little bit on this picture just to kind of give you a little perspective on what's going on here. So this is where the extension is. It's a very short little connection road here that we're talking about building. It's going to require a bridge that's going across this little, I think this is called Pensacola Branch, maybe a tributary to Pensacola Branch. You've got a subdivision here, that's been developed, verandas, I think, verandas phase 1, 2, and 3. This is verandas phase 4 that's being built out now. You've got Water Horse, it's the new subdivision in the city of Fairhope's being built here. You've got, I think this one's called Terra Nova that just got finished up here. You've got the Publix going in here. You've got a new hospital going in here. You got apartment complexes going in here. You got subdivisions going in here. I think you get the point. So,
Plus you got the high school.
yes, thank you, Commissioner, as your grandkids go there. So you've got the high school, the new St. Michael's High School going in here. I'm sorry, what?
St. Michael's, yeah.
St. Michael's. What'd I say? Okay, anyway. So, yeah, there's a lot going on in this area, this region. We want to give them a way to be able to get, of course, where does everybody go? Everybody wants to get to Walmart. Okay, so Walmart's down here, so we're trying to give a little bit better connectivity. Again, fits with our strategic plan, and I think this is going to be a really good project. So that's this money that we're asking for is going to start the design process for that.
And Joey, that's in concert with AlDOT and all the things that they're doing as well. And
Yes.
to brag on him again, I was in a setting with Commissioner Cooper on 2 occasions when he said that, well, Joey, you design it the way you think it needs to be. And to me, that says a lot about his credibility with Mr. Cooper and his team getting things done. So I think I'm thinking that's still the way it's being looked at.
It is. And we've had some conversations about it recently. The main thing they want to do is do the signals and the widening 104, and of course we're talking about doing this. And in conjunction, I think both of those projects are going to make that area a lot better. So. This project here is going to be the extension of County Road 20, and this is actually covers 2 projects. So of course, y'all are very familiar with the fact that we're planning on extending County Road 20 from Hickory out to 65, and this is, you know, we're actively working on that. We've got a bridge that we're going to have to place here. Plans are being developed. We're fixing to start acquiring right-of-way through here. So I think we're actually doing appraisals on the right-of-way currently before, and all the citizens have been notified the fact that we're fixing to start negotiating that with them. So this slide also shows a little section of blue here. When we push County Road 20 through and get it to 65, what we're seeing is a lot of development. Obviously, you see this new subdivision that's going up here. There's actually a new one that's going up here. There's RV parks that are going in here, and there's a couple down here. So what we see is once we do this, what we don't want to happen is we don't want somebody to lock up this and do some kind of development here, because our ultimate plan would be to try to push this corridor through all the way over to Bay Road. Bay Road East actually is where it is over here. So as you can see, this is just a zoomed out version. This is the County Road 20 project. This is a little piece of property that we want to go ahead and lock up for right of way, and that for eventual another, you know, east-west corridor down here to go all the way to Bay Road East. So that again, this is a project that kind of covers, this slide covers 2 projects, the County Road 20 and this right-of-way acquisition only project here before somebody gets in there and locks that property up. So does that make sense? Any questions on that? Okay, and again, this is the extension of the County Road 65 corridor. We're working on getting that corridor 65 extended north. Again, this falls in our strategic plan with connectivity. This road doesn't exist, so we're talking about pushing it from 28 to 32.
We did the survey and everything on this one already, haven't we? I mean, this on this northeast from 32 to 28.
Seth, we already did the survey on that? Survey has been complete and we're in design.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, another question. Once you get to 32, that is Paul Cleverton Dirt Road that's north of that, right?
Yeah. That's Paul.
Like, I know that's another step, but,
Yes.
okay. All right.
Yes.
So at least this is there ain't nothing there now.
The road does not exist there now, yes.
Right,
It's-
okay.
It's blank ground, blank slate.
It's like a little Grady Pond in there.
It is, yes. There's a little Grady Pond in there.
Those are easier to mitigate, aren't they?
That's correct,
Okay.
yes. All right, any more questions on this one?
Hey, maybe by the time I'm drawing Social Security.
Okay, this one's going to be the extension of Cordy Road. This is a project we've been working with the city of Daphne on. We're trying to enter into some funding agreements with them now to help this project along, but we're obviously moving forward with design. It's under design now. You know, a few years ago, we entered into an agreement with them to do this section of Cordy Road and realign this little Austin Road section here. Now we're talking about pushing it over to Friendship Road. So the next slide is going to show kind of a little bit more why this is needed. Again, this is the extension here of Cordy Road that we're talking about doing. These parcels highlighted in blue here is the new Bayshore Academy School that's being built. It's under construction right now. So
Is that in the city limits of Daphne, the Bayshore?
the school?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Joey, is this going, once we build this road, is Daphne gonna take over the maintenance of that?
Said
So-
they would.
Yeah, so the agreement that we have with them now that we sent over that they're probably going to counter on is for them to help fund about 50% of the funding of this road and to take it over for maintenance. They didn't like that agreement. So now they're probably not going to want to give as much cash, still take it over for maintenance. So I'm going to ask them to actually take over Friendship Road for maintenance as well. That's probably what I'm going to counter with.
So what are they talking about to put in?
Only about 250 grand is what I was told.
Similar to what they did on Cordy, but being able to take over Friendship would be a good caveat there. That
It
way.
would, and they've actually annexed in a lot of property around Friendship. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of in and out, but they've got a lot of it, so.
Right.
So we're kind of going back and forth with Daphne now on that. I'm kind of waiting on them to kind of, send me back a proposal. Just wanted to keep y'all in the loop of what's
And
going on.
you might have said this, and I might not have been paying attention, but we were going to try to seek some MPO funds and weren't able to on this one. And we shifted it to the other
That's correct, yes,
other
I
roads.
did not
So
say that.
it's putting a little bit more burden to try to get this one, but the traffic backs up so bad, you can't get out onto 64 from Friendship, and there's no other way to get out, am I correct?
That's correct. Friendship is one way
So
in,
this
one
is
way
a
out.
great connector to alleviate and dump some more traffic either out on 13 or all the way out to 181.
Especially with that school coming in, that's gonna be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an important project, so, which is why we went ahead and started the design process, even though we've not, finalized the agreement with Daphne, but it's
They're-
moving along.
They're talking positivity though. I mean, it's not like they won't see this happen.
They do,
Yeah.
they do.
Sure.
Okay. From a drainage project standpoint, we've got quite a few of these. May have a few more with all the rain that we've been having these past few days. But the first one's going to be Surfside Drive. The second one's Tuberville Lane, Red Gully, which we already touched on a little bit, Faircloth Road, and Greeno Road. And we'll go through some slides on those just so everybody's familiar with what we're doing and what our plans are. So this one's Surfside Drive. This is down on the Fort Morgan Peninsula. You can see this Surfside subdivision here is quite large. Lots of houses in here have, during the rainy season, have water that stand under them for periods of days. So what we're talking about doing is running a trunk line to catch the water up the main road here, go all the way to 180, and then come up and put it back into the bay. It's about a 4,000-foot run of pipe. It's about 4 foot of fall, so it's going to be a project. But the permitting process on this one was the mountain to climb. We had 5 different permitting agencies we had to go through, and that process is actually moving along nicely. So we've been very pleased with how receptive both U.S. Fish and Wildlife, ADM, the Corps of Engineers, ALDOT. It seems like, I'm sorry, who?
Fish and Wildlife and everyone.
Fish and Wildlife, yeah. So we had to jump through a bunch of hoops there. A lot of those from the federal agencies to get this one done, and they've been coordinating with us well. So
Joey, is that going, do we know that's going to work?
it's going to work. Will it be a little bit of a maintenance headache? Because I mean, we got 4,000 foot of pipe with 4 foot of fall. So in a sandy area, that's going to get some sand silt in it. And so we're going to have to come in there and kind of clean that thing out every now and then, every few years. But we've got equipment to do that with.
What's gonna stabilize it from sinking and stuff? I mean, how are you gonna stabilize that?
The
I mean,
pipe,
it's just,
yeah, the sand doesn't sink. That pipe will be okay. It'll be stable. The issues that we're going to have is obviously siltation from a maintenance standpoint, and we've got to stabilize this area where that volume of water comes out into the bay there. So we don't want that part of the pipe sinking and eroding and washing. So we're going to have to do some
a lot of riprap or something.
a lot of riprap and concrete in this area. Other than that, I think
And
we'll be
so,
okay.
will it alleviate the current problem there now as well? Will some of that water start draining out of there?
Yeah, so what this trunk line will do is this trunk line is going to have a couple of stub outs going here. You see these wet areas here, and here. They'll have stub outs that'll catch those bad wet areas and put it into this trunk line and take that water and put it back.
Well, that's going to be huge for those people down there.
It will.
They'll quit calling Skip on that now, because they still underwater.
Oh, they call me too.
Yeah,
And I could imagine as much rain as we've had lately, we
may
may
take you off speed dial, Commissioner Gruber.
Yeah, so and we've been keeping the residents down there completely informed of the process. They're very happy with the fact that they're seeing some action.
What's the timeline on that?
So obviously we're asking
Just ballpark, not a hard number since we're on live. Just what's a ballpark?
if y'all approve the funding for this, this funding will go for construction. So the design's paid for, permits, construction. So I mean, this could go under construction next year.
I know. So how long does it take? Are we looking at like 2024, 2020?
Oh, no,
2023 probably?
Yeah, it'll probably be done in 2023. Yeah.
We just need to think about this, when we come in the budget, that this is a safety priority for, we can't handle another hurricane where the water stays in there.
After Sally, water stayed under those houses for like 6 months.
Right, so we just need to, and I think there's water still under some houses, so
Maybe.
it's just the water table's too high, and it's kind of like my backyard. It's just eventually you're gonna have a swamp. So, I think we're doing budget. This would be greatly appreciated that we can fund this, because it is a priority.
Right. The next one's going to be Tuberville Lane. This one we've been battling for a few years. It's a large gully or head cut right through this area. There were trees have launched, and it's just about to take out Tuberville Lane. So Tuberville Lane is a little dead end road, about a few houses on it, not a lot of houses, but those few houses are very interested in us making sure that that road doesn't get blown out by this head cut. So this project that we've got designed and working with the property owners to acquire right-of-way is to stabilize that head cut and keep it from taking out Tuberville Lane. So. Red Gully, we already touched on a little bit, but this is a great picture to show you what our challenges are on this one. So Red Gully is another head cut that's been there for years. I mean, years. And about 20, 30 years ago, there was a EWP project to try to help stabilize the head cut with some gabion baskets. And those gabion baskets have now started giving some maintenance problems. So we've asked for money to kind of help address those issues. But if you can see, the problem here is all these different yellow lines are parcels. And I think there's over 20 parcels that we've got to get everybody to agree to donate the right-of-way in order for us to stabilize this project. So we're in communications with them now. Obviously, some are very eager to sign up. Some are very, very, very cautious. And so if we don't get 100% participation with right-of-way donation, this thing goes away. So Tate's been working very hard convincing these people that this is the right thing to do, and I think we're going to have some more meetings in the near future with some of the holdouts. So that's been the biggest hurdle we need to accomplish on this one. So
Are the existing gabions, most of those are deteriorated? Is that what's happening to them? They're just deteriorated, or are they collapsing?
I think more collapsing. Some of the banks that they were put up
Behind-
against,
okay,
yeah,
the
are
bank is
eroding.
caved, yeah, okay.
And
sheared away.
yeah, so I mean, but the fact that they've been there for almost 25 years, I guess,
Been there a
25
long
years
time.
through multiple hurricanes and the 14 rain event, and
They've been there a long time.
yeah, they have fared very well. So
A lot of sweat went into them.
I bet. So this is another important project that the residents are very happy to see. This is what we call the Faircloth Road Regional Drainage Project. This picture basically is a visual of what's going on. There's about 1,200 acres that flow to this spot right here. And there is no outlet. It is a bowl. It is very much similar to the Boris Road bowl that we've just tried to mitigate. This one is a much larger bowl than Boris Road. It's 1,200 acres. And this picture shows the green is the low spots, the red are the high spots. So you can see there's a high spot here, and then it kind of drops back off, right? So what we want to do is we want to cut a ditch to drain this bowl right through this area all the way out back to this to this piece of property over here. Now this piece of property here belongs to the state. It's the agreement that we have with the state, we've been working on very hard with. Frank's been doing a good job leading the effort on this one, is for us to be able to drain this over there to them. And we've been working close with Chris Blankenship and his team, Terry Boyd, on that. That agreement is actually coming up on this next meeting, and for us to be able to do that. So that's a huge step that we've been able to get accomplished. This property here belongs to the Department of Education. So we've had a lot of communications with them about draining this property, draining this ditch across their property. They're on board with it. And then this private property owner here, which is a huge part of it, he's also on board with it as well. So we've made a lot of headway on this one, and it is very much needed. Water stands up underneath these houses for quite some time as well. So, this is the Greeno Road project. This is basically just a ditch stabilization project. gave us problems during Hurricane Sally. We got some FEMA funding to stabilize this project. So this money is going to basically add on to that FEMA project, carry it further north, and finish it out. And it's very much needed. If we don't do it, we're going to be battling this ditch for years to come. So, from a safety improvement project, we've got the County Road 13 and 44 roundabout project. Again, the yellow pluses are going to be additional money needed to kind of flush these budgets out. The old Highway 31 and US Highway 31 realignment. County Road 65 and County Road 12 signal. County Road 65 and 26 signal. Both of those projects are going to need some right-of-way acquisition money added to it. So that's what that money's for. The Old Foley Road and US Highway 98 intersection improvement project, which I'll explain a little bit more about that shortly on the slide. County Road 64 and Baldwin Beach Express intersection improvements. That's the R cut that we put in for the grant for. And the County Road 99 Spanish Cove turn lane. So obviously this is the roundabout at 44 and 13. Right-of-way acquisition is finishing up on that. We've got 3 of the 4 corners already acquired, and the 4th one is nearby. That one's actually scheduled for a November letting, so that one's moving along nicely. Old Highway 31 and 31. This is again another grant project that we got from ALDOT. It's a HSIP grant. Right-of-way acquisitions already completed on this one. Utility relocations underway. County Road 65 and 12. Again, this when we got to analyzing these intersections and counting turning movements and wanting to put in a signal at this intersection, we found out we're going to have to put some turn lanes in here as well. Those turn lanes are going to require some right-of-way acquisition, so that's what this money's for. Same thing at the County Road 65 and 26. Old Foley Road intersection, this is one I was going to expand on a little bit. This is a new project that Commissioner River and I have been talking about. There's a lot of development that is happening on Old Foley Road. This is Old Foley Road. This is the city of Alberta. There's lots of development that are going in here, lots of houses. This is a very bad intersection here at a bad skew. Comes in a skew means it comes in at a bad angle. So what we want to do is we want to do a project to kind of realign this, bring this road back into US 98 there at a better angle to cut down on accident problems. Accident problems are going to get worse as more development, more traffic uses the intersection. Very similar to the one at 3131. I'll go back a couple of slides just to kind of show you what I was talking about. This intersection came in at a bad skew as well, started having really bad accidents there when you started seeing development and other people use the intersection. More people, more vehicles, more accidents. So that's what this one was about, and this one's going to be a very similar project to that. This is the R cut that we actually put in for a grant from ALDOT, the HSIP grant. We haven't heard back on this grant yet. I think they're actually supposed to make some type of decision over the next week. So we got our fingers crossed. There's lots of competition for this money, but I think this is a really, really good project. It would eliminate the need for a signal at this intersection. Mm-hmm. And you, of course, as y'all well know, we get a lot of pressure from the citizens about putting a signal up here. This is County Road 99 and Spanish Cove Drive. This is a turn lane project that we're actually going to be putting on the tip for the Florida TPO. So that action, and I know Commissioner River, you've got a seat on that board, but that action to put this project on the tip is supposed to be coming up next meeting. Is that correct, Sarah? Yeah. In August. Okay. So just to kind of bring you up to speed on that. So this money we're asking for would be matching funds for that. Special projects, we obviously have to maintain our mitigation bank down on County Road 4. That mitigation bank is obviously fixing to get some action on it with the mega site activity that's going on. So we've got to really make sure that we maintain those credits down there in good shape with the core. So this money goes to that. County Road 99 shoulder widening phase 3. This is again the Florida Alabama TPO matching funds to do some shoulder widening down there. And then we're also talking about updating our Baldwin County travel model that Sarah's taking the lead on, and this money's going to help us do that. So, any questions on that? Okay, this is the a graph of the 99 shoulder widening project. The bridge replacements, Sherman Road over Weeks Branch. This bridge was built in 1954. So we've got to acquire this. It's already under design. We've got some right of way we're going to have to acquire to do it. So this money helps us do that. River Road North over Keller Creek, bridge was built in 1957. So this $400,000 of FAEF money that we get every year from the state is going to help flush that project out. That project's already been let. It's under construction, or well, it's fixing to be under construction. But this money's going to flush that budget out. This is just a couple of pictures of the Sherman Road and River Road over Keller Creek. Capacity improvement projects, we've got the County Road 64 turn lane. Again, $250,000 for MPO match. This project has been submitted to ALDOT, and we are basically waiting on their approval for us to start acquiring right-of-way. We're in that stage, so a project has to meet a 85% design stage in order for us to get approval to buy right-of-way. We've reached that stage, and we've asked for their permission to start buying right-of-way, and we're waiting on that approval. Park improvements, we've been coordinating with Ron and Brian on these two projects. This is County Road 6 boat launch project and the Josephine Park improvement projects. So there is some potential about using some GOMESA funds for these projects, and we could probably work that out in budget. But as you can see, this is the rendering of the County Road 6 boat launch that's under design. We're working through the permitting processes now.
This is also this park here on Josephine actually belongs to the state. You know, it's a state park owned by the state, you know. It's one that we inherited many.
You're talking about that one, yeah.
Josephine Park, yeah. We inherited that one many years ago.
We did.
It was inadequate at the time when it was put in, but we didn't have no say about it. So, but now it's a problem.
The parking is horrible, horrible. So we've got a little bit of property down there. There's not a lot, but I think the little bit of property that we can do, we can try to maximize for some additional parking. So that's
if
kind
we
of
can get them to go along with it.
yes, yeah. I'm sure. Well, it would shock me if they didn't, because, but yes, we do have to get their permission to do so. On other site, other items, just the mega site general fund, we're throwing in about 60 grand on that just for miscellaneous items that may be needed on the mega site.
Well, that is a reduction, ain't it?
Was that?
That is a reduction, ain't it?
Yes.
Because I think about 100 grand last year. Wasn't it?
That's exactly right. Yep, it was.
Okay, so where can we spend that 40?
Yeah, so that's does it for my presentation. If I'll be happy to answer any questions if y'all got any.
We have any up here?
Where we at on those little culverts on Baker Brent, like by the vet clinic and on 34 South? So there's 4 different culverts in that area that we've got designed. Right-of-way's been acquired. Budgeted and everything.
Everything's budgeted. We're sitting on go to do those. when Sally hit and we had so many different FEMA projects and FEMA and FHWA projects come about to do a bunch of culverts, we flooded the market with our culvert contractors. I mean, to make it a long story short, we flooded the market so what we started seeing is our prices just get, I mean, they're already kind of high, they were going even higher. So with those not being FEMA funded, those are being county funded, I chose to just kind of pull back and wait and let FEMA money flush out. Contractors get a little bit slower, and then we'll let those projects.
Okay, I didn't know if it was are those going to be poured in place, or are they going to be like pipes or something that you
No,
buy?
they'll be poured in place box covers.
Okay.
So,
Good.
yep. All right.
Very
Any-
good. Very
Yeah, we
good.
just have
Any
to
other
keep
questions or comments?
Patching up that road by it then.
That's right. That's right. All right, item number 4 is any addendum. Is there anything that we need to add that we haven't covered yet? I'm not aware of any.
I do have a comment I'd like to make. Last week, Area 300 had a project going on, pouring 100 yards of concrete in a drainage ditch, and I want to thank Ori and their crew for what they did.
I'm so glad you're mentioning that.
It was tremendous. And it was, the heat index was up to 100 and almost 104.
Yeah.
And I went by there, and every one of those guys, for 2 solid days, laying the formwork out and pouring that concrete, were drenched.
Yeah.
Ori, thank you for what you did. You don't realize it, but that crew, you working with them side by side with a rake in your hand, made a big difference.
Sure did.
I mean, Ori was he was soaking wet, and he had concrete from head to toe. and they even had the sales rep. He was covered in concrete. They worked their tails off on that project. And you think, was it almost 100 yards, Ori? What it ended up being? And you don't realize how much concrete is in 100 yards of concrete. That's a lot of concrete.
Yeah.
And they pumped that and, battled with that hose and trying to rake it. And plus, I think they put calcium in it to make it harden up quicker, which, was also a feat for them. But thank y'all. And I know the citizens down there appreciate what y'all did. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
I am so glad that you brought that, because I was actually going to bring it up, and you hadn't talked about this.
But
so-
no, it was,
so
and it was impressive. For Ori to jump out there,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to do that.
No, he didn't.
But to jump out there, as a upper supervisor, you don't expect him to be out there, pulling rakes and everything else. But he did. He jumped right in there and just, like as if it was like nothing. And I'm telling you, the crew noticed that big time.
They do.
And and it's that made an impression on them, and because I've had several of them already say, well, So, but anyway, thank you again.
So just to kind of put that in perspective a little bit, it was close to 100 yards of concrete that we had to form up and pour. They did that in a day and a half, Corey, is that correct? Day and a half. Aldot had a very similar project using the same product, the same sales rep and everything in another county. They were doing less than 10 yards, okay? I think it was about 4 or 5 yards. Took them 3 days. We did it in a day and a half, and we did, so yes, kudos not only to Ori, but to the Area 300. They worked their tails off, did a great job, and and we wanted to give them some notification about that. So Area 300 did that. Area 200 did a great job on the River Road project recently. Area 100 did a great job getting ready for the Novella site, getting that done in a quick time frame. So my guys, just bragging on my guys a little bit. So.
They all do, but I mean, this was something that really just jumped out to, to see. I mean, it was, and it was just unbelievable, like I say, 100 yards of concrete, and they poured it in just a matter of hours. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and that project was a project that both neighbors worked with us on donating right away in order to stop a flooding problem where we had water getting into a guy's house. Water got into that guy's house on the left-hand side about 3 or 4 different times, and so hopefully we've resolved that issue. So it was a good project, and the guys worked hard on it. So.
Very good. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address Joey or our panel here? I don't see hands jumping up in the air, so we'll ask if there are any members of the press here. See that they're not. That's usually a good thing. And then commissioners.
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback off what Commissioner Gruber says. As always, it's great to know that we work with a great organization, and y'all are definitely not unrecognized, because all of us up here having to rely on y'all, because I think out of any department that we have, other than solid waste, y'all are going to get the most complaints through us from citizens. So, Frank and Area 100 work on all my complaints in a very timely fashion, just as well as anytime we text Joey and say we got a problem, I see work orders generated in no time. So it's a pleasure to be able to have that service at our hands, and thank you again for all that y'all do, all of Joey's staff and everybody involved with the highway department, because it makes a huge difference. It may not be done in the most timely fashion to the citizens, but I don't know what he's doing now. But just to let y'all know, we appreciate it.
On his phone.
All right, Billy Joe.
I just want to say that there are so many times that these citizens don't call back and say thank you once you guys get something done, and some of the projects like River Road, like several things, the bridge on Lindholm, and then once they call and talk about something else, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, y'all never even acknowledged that we got this done. In a nice way. My mom always taught me there's a way to talk to everybody. And so I kindly let them know that they were real quick to complain, but not to say thank you. And so I want to thank you guys, whether the people ever say thank you or not. And I told this lady that called me last week, she owns a home on the Loop down on Plash Island. And she said, please pass on to the highway department what a great job that's happening with the work that's being done on that road. And she said, I guess it's being resurfaced right now. And I know that it took a long time to get to that point because of all the cross drains and all that kind of stuff that you have to do to get to that point. But one of the ones that called quite a bit about the road and the repair the road needed, called to say thank you. And I told her, I said, we have a road and bridge meeting next week, and in that open meeting, I'm going to tell the members of the highway department that are here. So those of you who can let that area know that worked on that, I don't know if it goes across. Sometimes I know y'all pull people from other areas, and you may have contracted the resurfacing out, but nonetheless, you guys inspect it, you take care of it. Let them know that one of the biggest ones that was asking for the repair did call back and say thank you, and I told her thank you for thanking us. And I do appreciate the updates that the ones of you that send us the emails on Fridays. I don't reply to those because I don't think you need it necessarily. If you want it, let me know. But I look at them. I like to see the pictures you send us and kind of keep an update that's going on. And there's another couple that really thanked us for the road. I think it was up there off of Highway 90. Was it the Fountain or Hewen, somewhere in that area? I ran into an elderly couple in Foley, and they were like, thank you. They live up there. They were at a luncheon down there. And thank you, thank you. So, and also one thing I wanted to let you guys know that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to direct some of the citizens to calling the just regular maintenance things in through the normal channels. And so some of you guys I copy on the reply email, and I hope you can see that I'm trying to not encourage them to go straight to the top, because that ain't really, you guys do a great job of responding. You do an awesome job of responding. So as Joey says, quit feeding the bear. It ain't easy, and Matt, you're gonna be on the, they're gonna get you, because they got me and the rest of them when we first come in. And I want to help the people, but I try to tell them that, look, if these guys don't do it, then call me, you know. But just to call in a pothole straight to the commissioner, you guys get that done. And so I'm trying to memorize the numbers to the maintenance facilities. See, I didn't call it a barn. And giving that to them. And I'm also thanking them for their patience in this time of labor shortages and unpredictable weather patterns. And so I'm trying to help you guys because y'all help us so much. And county commission's where the rubber meets the road, and you guys are the ones that are on the front line. And if there's ever anything that, you know, please reach out. Not about your employment. I'm just talking about just the situations that you think that we can do to help you, okay? Joey's going, trained her well, but thank you.
Skip, you got anything else? All right, this is my last meeting as chairman of this division, but I can certainly tell you that it has been a pleasure to work with y'all and to see how you get the job done. The kind of calls that we get, and by the way, Matt, this is the darndest part-time job you'll ever have, I promise you, because they don't tell you what part of the day, so you get calls at various times, but that's okay. But we got one yesterday where a person was upset about a possible hazard of a turn lane being put in. I think that's what he was saying. At first you think, well, he's going to be bragging on us for putting a turn lane in, but it didn't sound like that. But then at the end he mentioned that he'll be in touch with some of the media to, I guess, make a shake in our boots. My boots quit shaking a long time ago. And so Joey and I have reached out to him, and my message to him, I called him and left him a message, and I said, well, we'll check into this. So we've got a road and bridge meeting in the morning, and we'll talk about it, and then I'll get back with you today. Everybody, every citizen needs to have a way to express a concern, but too many times it's the NIMBYs. It's not in my backyard. They want things left just like they want it, or they want it changed just like they want it. And growing as fast as we're growing, change is part of the life. But to have been a part of this commission and move the needle of progress forward in a number of areas, I'm tickled and honored, and I can tell you that every department impressed me, but this one right here definitely does. And getting out there with your men and helping them rake that's the way a leader does things. That's the way you get things done. And that's the way when you need one of them to do something for you and you ask them, not tell them, ask them to do it, guess what? They're going to do it. And so thank you for taking that approach. I think all of you do that, and it shows. And the citizens, vast majority, appreciate and know how well you do things. Some of the ones we hear from maybe just need somebody to talk to, but we'll talk to them, and I'm going to call that guy back here in a little while and see which turn lane he was talking about or what's his concern. But Joey, it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with you and your team, and I'll put you and this bunch against anybody, anywhere, in terms of getting the job done. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to being a great leader for us. And I hate to see you go, but understand. And but I'm happy to have Matt too. Matt's in all this. So, but I would be remiss if I didn't say kudos to my staff that are sitting out there. They've worked hard on putting all this together. They work hard every day. They put up with me. So Lisa stayed late last night putting all this stuff together. So thank y'all for everything you do.
All right, any other comments? If not, this meeting is, I'll take a motion.
I got the motion.
We got a motion and a second, and I hadn't even said it yet, but y'all know what it is. We're adjourned. Thank you. We didn't vote.